Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant news and plenty to dive into today. After TSM failed to qualify for the North American Challenges a few days ago, lots of criticism was being levelled their way, and Subroza has responded to some of those criticising his gameplay. Very much intriguing your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Tell this channel reach new people, please subscribe as well. Loads of great growth lately, not far away from 9k, just love to see it. Firstly, this from Mouse, believe we talked about this yesterday, that it seemed like Mouse were going to join into Valorant right here. They've taken Valorant away from Heretics, and well, this is the roster they're going with. Another mixed nationality roster that seems to be all over Europe right now. Mouse have certainly done this in other esports as well, notably Counter-Strike. So well, we'll see how this team works out in due course. This also definitely deserving of a mention that, well, it seems like the Envy team may well be rebranding to OpTic very soon indeed. There is a process episode I'll mention here for you guys in a second. Zena, I believe, may have been the first to notice this or point this out, but it was on their website for quite some time. I believe it's now, well, been kind of removed, but that's the thing. I don't know why they so often, like, these things get leaked from the OpTic side. But again, shop.nv.gg, this yesterday at least, there was OpTic Gaming merch now available with OpTic Gaming Valorant custom jersey arriving. Lots of talk about, okay, do they like the jersey, do they not? Like, maybe some people prefer the Envy stuff, but in terms of FPS esports heritage, OpTic's certainly right up there. I think, I mean, look, it sells the merchandise at the end of the day. Envy and OpTic, when they did their merger, certainly makes sense for them, I think, to rebrand the team in this way, and that Envy can kind of focus on the other stuff and the content and other esports that aren't FPSs and lifestyle stuff and all this. But it seems like very much so that the Envy team will be rebranding to OpTic Valorant very soon indeed. Because I mean, this image comes out with a FNS right in the jersey. You'd imagine this would not necessarily be the case if this wasn't the case, right? And Envy was just staying as Envy. And even Victor, right, also on the Envy team, spotted also in the new jersey it seems they're going to be rocking with. So more than likely this is the case and Envy is going to rebrand, kind of expected. But I did wonder if this actually was going to go all the way through. This also, as Purious notices, right, this is kind of how it looks from another perspective as well. Not sure this is still there, but probably not long until this all gets revealed, to be honest, with Envy becoming OpTic, I guess, in the Valorant side for North American Challengers very soon. This also just to mention, right, because later on today, there's going to be this TP, the Process 8 that's going on, talking about the Halo stuff that OpTic have been involved in, but maybe at the end they'll do some sort of reveal as to the fact that the OpTic Valorant team is being rebranded. I guess we'll see how that one goes. Let's dive into TSM then, right, because of course they failed to qualify for the North American Challengers, and then there was a lot of talk about it. ShahZaM tweeted the following: TSM's best performance was on Twitter. And we just did a clip a couple of days ago where ShahZaM was saying yes, like especially on, I believe it was Binds, that well, Subroza was just playing all on his own with the Astra, and the rest of the guys are playing on the other side of the map. And ShahZaM reckon, okay, like, what are they really playing at right here? Why is Subroza taking all these solo fights? The rest of the team are all across the map. And well, of course, Subroza kind of heard that criticism, not just from ShahZaM and the pros, but also from the fans themselves, and isn't necessarily convinced that all this type of stuff is valid. He reckons that, well, he's obviously really good, especially on Fracture, and using the Astra to pretty good effect. Obviously, in certain situations, there's still ways to improve. This I thought was a particularly nice clip here on Fracture with Astra, where he tends to be pretty good. But I'll show a clip for you guys real quick. Of course, this is on stream, where there's, of course, the kind of streamer persona that goes on at the same time as well. So take this out with a little bit of a grain of salt, and he does go on to explain himself in a little bit more detail over on the Reddit.
I'm playing my abilities perfectly. Literally, I'm playing my abilities to the maximum impact you can have on Astra. And just because I get a lot of kills with Astra, they think it doesn't make sense. Like, dude, that should be a jet player. Bro, are you watching the game, or are you just talking to people on Discord? Like, you know what I mean? Are you watching the game, or are you just talking to people on Discord?
So when he kind of says perfectly right, he admits right here in this comment that he's memeing to some degree, like not fully accurate. Can't believe people are even taking this serious, knowing the stuff I say on stream 24/7. What I meant is that people don't see my ability usage on it and just see the amount of kills and think it's played wrong, right? So I guess that he's kind of maybe not talking about ShahZaM per se, because of course ShahZaM was watching the gameplay himself, but he actually was watching the stream and saying, okay, Subroza, what are you playing at over here on this site? Why is your team over there? Like, it doesn't really seem like the greatest setup in the world. But well, Subroza's saying, look, those people who just look at the kills, they feel like, okay, I must be playing Astra wrong somehow. Goes on to say that in this particular clip, we're talking about Astra on Fracture, where we have a backup Viper as a controller in case I go for plays or die early. So, of course, it's pretty misleading, he reckons. But he does agree that entering on Astra is not optimal, and there's, you know, loads to improve, obviously. Which is kind of strange, right? Because they have a backup Viper with the intention of, like, okay, if Subroza dies going for these aggressive solo peaks with the Astra, then they still have Viper as a controller there to kind of hold down the rest of the rounds. But you might well think that maybe, like, the kind of agent composition, if your Astros going in first and dying a lot of the time maybe isn't the brightest idea for TSM. But yeah, definitely treat your perspective on this. ShahZaM obviously had his thoughts on the matter, the fact that TSM weren't playing correctly. Subroza agrees there's things to improve on, but some would argue he might not be taking things quite as seriously as that maybe they deserve to be taken, given TSM's recent performances. This also, just to mention real quick, is obviously some scrims going on between T1 and the Cloud9 guys, and Leaf drops this in the reply, right, kind of telling him, okay, use Cosmic Divide, maybe it's a good idea, and as Steel says, yeah, we're bad, we're trying to get better, that's the point, right, saying, you know, stop making fun of us, right, we might be getting smoked by you guys right now, and Vanity says, Leaf dumb kid, plus Toxic, so I thought it was kind of funny, nothing really too much here, but it's, well, interesting to keep your eyes on regardless. T1, of course, not going to be in challenges as Cloud9 are, where they're pretty much the #1 seed, you would imagine they're pretty much the best team in North America right now, but I mean, all could certainly change. This also just wanted to mention real quick from esports GG, thought a pretty interesting statement from Poised, just because, of course, relatively soon we're going to see the challenges begin in the North American side. This statement especially I thought was quite interesting. I think anything can happen in this game. Anyone can beat anyone, you never know. These open qualifiers have been a bloodbath, that's certainly true, right? We saw Rise have a very difficult time getting through, even at top teams getting upset. They're probably watching this getting nervous, to be honest. That's the thing, right? If you are a Cloud9, if you are a, you know, let's say 100 Thieves, even the guys in EMEA, right, Gambit, Liquid, these kind of top teams that came through Ascend and Fnatic, you know, they might be looking at some of these qualifiers, and especially in the North American side, if you're Sentinels, if you're Envy, now potentially OpTic, like, I mean, 100 Thieves as well, of course, we've got the free qualification spot, like, they might be looking at these qualifiers thinking, okay, wow, this is pretty scary, given that these other teams that have come through really made a name for themselves, and well, I'm sure there's going to be some serious upsets right here, and well, Poised reckons they're getting pretty nervous. Speaking of teams in a similar boat, there, of course, the winter champs for Nerd Street went on last night. Dephh and the xSec guys paired up against Knights. They beat them in the grand finals. Quite a phenomenal tournament, really. This was the overall bracket as it finished up. So Recruit took down Radiance. They then lost to Knights in the semi-finals. Knights took down the Guard, actually 2-0. So Guard, I mean, obviously they looked really good, but yeah, the Pittsburgh Knights right now still looking very solid. They make it to the grand finals. On the lower side, Reformed upset version 1. That was pretty interesting, just because version 1 is considered to be one of the very top teams in North American challenges that has qualified, and they should be right up there. NRG, of course, qualified as well. They go down to xNed. xNed get through Reformed and then beat Knights in the grand final again to pocket. I'm pretty sure 20k they did in the end. But yeah, it was pretty interesting, right? The version 1, pretty major upset right here in this online tournament. Maybe an indication of what could potentially happen as we go into the North American challenges front. Starting, I believe, tomorrow, but it's Renz on the Reformed side, really a monstrous series from him over the course of yeah, Breeze 13-9 and Icebox 13-10. Close series, but yeah, surprising for V1 to go down right here in a 2-0. And then, well, the Knights play up against xNed. This is the grand finals. Bind goes 13-10 and Breeze. There's also a crazy clutch I'll share for you guys at the end of the video with Dephh getting a 1v4, but yeah, 14-12 over in this one. Goes to overtime, but yeah, it's the xNed guys that get the job done. Just before we finish out the video, wanted to mention this from Ominous. I thought it was very interesting indeed. I know, well, the agent metas in the recent qualifiers in all the regions. So this is just North America, but look at this pick rates per agent class. So Initiator, of course, well, Sova's right up here in terms of Controller, Astra and Viper, relatively evenly split actually, but Astra's still #1. Lots of complaints still right now about the way Astra's running. Duelist, of course, it's going to be Jet, Raze, Reyna, sometimes Neon, I guess, is picked, but very rarely, right? That's the thing, of the new agents, really Chamber has come to the fore. In terms of Sentinels, Chamber's getting picked the most out of all Sentinels that are getting picked, 47%, which I believe is the highest in pretty much all regions. So, well, interesting that Chamber's coming this quickly, and in this, well, good place, I think, in the meta right now. So exciting stuff. I think maybe that, of course, the Yoru rework, that might do something as well. We might talk about that once again tomorrow. Neon hasn't really found her places of yet, but maybe if there is a Jet nerf at some point or another, things could certainly change on this front. And just to finish off with a nice couple of clips here as we finish out the video, but very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tell us the YouTube gods this is a good video. I'd also like you should see it as well, and I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
Flawlessly to take down Zekin. Dephh, who was trying to find some space over in B. It definitely works out. Why not try it? Dephh. Oh, baby, 1v3.
Only 1 star, though. And I said, sure, if you let him plant, they'll buy the time. But they've spotted him. They know he's playing close on the pillar. Pops that star. Gonna play inside the nebula. Oh, and Jenner's up on the other side. No way,
Dephh! Oh my god!
Makes it look possible. This should not be up mind.
Oh my god, this peek. He's around the corner. Oh my god, Dephh! Dephh! He's got the peek! Will he get the kill though? 70 HP. The other player completely full again. He has full armor, not going for the defuse. Dephh waiting up for the approach. The defuse isn't gonna go in. Dephh has won the round for xNed. Are you kidding? Oh no! no!
In positioning, and Aaron finally takes one to the side of the head. The op is here. The knives are on, and Cryo looks to steal it back. He goes up top. He cuts down Jerk. And now Calypso, the last one standing here. The op comes out. The angle's held, and Cryo goes clutch.
On friggin' real, Cryo 1v3.